Hey, you don't look confident, Bo. You don't look confident when you're doing that. You don't look confident.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athen, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense
He got
Todd.
the winning Super Bowl touchdown.
Okay, got a catch. Anybody could have made that catch.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
You did it, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Guys, y'all got it. Comment. Guys, y'all.
I don't know what the trade details are. Hold on.
Woo!
They got
Boom!
Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Isn't that crazy? It's been 11 months since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and we're it's gone by so fast.
Oh, it's time to piss Dre off. Pull up a picture of 81. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Rashad
Smith.
Rashad Smith. Let's go.
There it is.
Oh!
The Chiefs have done their perfect draft.
Dre's gone. I don't know where he's gone.
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we can be the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop.
All right. Welcome to the next edition of Chiefs Blitz Podcast, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your top source for Chiefs news. I'm your host, Nick Athen, Mr. Hense Todd, Mr. Lou Montagna, and Mr. Harold Coons from Fox 4. Welcome, gentlemen. Hope we had a great holiday. We know the game stunk, but nonetheless, we survived anyway. So how you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right,
you know,
Nick. I was looking for some enthusiasm and some
I'm trying. I'll get into
cheer.
it.
We see kind of where the standings are right now, right? And we know what we have to do. Just win, baby. That's all you got to do.
What about you, Harold? How you feeling?
Feeling good. I think I saw some results that the Chiefs can play off of this weekend. I'm looking at Indianapolis and Los Angeles right now. I think that's where you should be looking.
Right.
Yeah, they got problems.
I looked at went back and watched the Colts, and it's a division game. I'm looking like where they can be had yet. But again, the question comes up: this offensive line. Will Kingsley? Not Kingsley, but Simmons come out and play. He's banged up. Taylor's banged up. We've been down this rabbit hole before, so let's see what happened with that. And also want to thank everybody for joining in on DSM, Ruben, and all you guys that's joining on Facebook, X, and on YouTube as well.
There we go.
Evening in Kansas City. So with that said, guys, let's
JJ Sports coverage. Is that a new one?
That's new.
Thank you guys.
What's up, JJ? Thanks for dropping by.
JJ, thanks for dropping by. I'm sure we'll hear from some Broncos fans today. It is Monday. They won again. And I guess heroic fashion would be the best way to put it. Nick Benito. But, hey, before we get started, let's talk about our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. And here we go. Underdog Fantasy. Play 5. Get up to $100 in bonus entries. You need to do that for one more week, and they're going to switch it down to 75. So now's the time to play Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. Just play the pick'em game, go higher or lower. It's really simple. We make things pretty easy around here at the Four Guys or Chiefs Blitz podcast. Just hit the QR code, put in the promo code Chiefs Blitz, make your deposit, set up your account, play your first game. And then if you are one of the entries that reaches the max number of 100, our goal for the end of the season, you'll get this Super Bowl 4 ball from Johnny Robinson, Emma Thomas, Lenny Dawson, Will Lanier, Bobby Bell, all Hall of Fame players. Case is included, the ball, shipping, and another $100 prize of value from the Super Bowl 4 era. So we're getting closer, but we still need a good push between now and the Monday after the Chiefs and the Raiders game in, I'm assuming that's January. So there it is. That's all I got on that one. So, gentlemen, first
Nick,
and foremost.
Hold on. Speaking of Hall of Famers,
all right, go
Otis
ahead.
Taylor, right? He's up for the seniors.
He made the next round.
We brought this up before. Harold, you might know this. Who's kind of in the room stating Otis' case?
Andy Reid. because he's a historian of the game. So yeah, Otis has
He's
been
the
up
guy?
there, but Otis has been up there by the whole organization really for a while. Otis and Marty Schottenheimer have been the two names they've been really pushing.
Yeah.
So I can see both of them.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Marty Schottenheimer's
son.
son, gave the Chiefs a run there, but his offensive play
Hands off
calling.
the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, usually there's like a journalist kind of.
It's Vahe Gregorian.
Yes.
Pushing the volume. Okay, so
Vahe's
Vahe, okay.
big with that too. So.
Yeah, he took over for Bob Gretz, I think. It's been a while since Bob's been around.
But we want to thank everybody watching the Broncos, man. The game yesterday, and everybody saying that they the Kansas City Chiefs from last year. Winning these one score games. Do you see these guys taking this over into the playoffs and actually winning like this in the playoffs? Or do you see them finish off the season like this? Because the Broncos look like they could be had in any moment, any time or any game they've been playing this year. What you think about it?
Go ahead, Harold.
Yeah, I saw what I've seen from the Broncos pretty much the entire season. I've seen a team that's figuring out how to win games, even when the opponent is not great. Full credit to Washington. Marcus Mariota looked like vintage Marcus Mariota or whatever vintage was he had for a little bit there. The healthy Marcus Mariota that they saw at Oregon, and it was an interesting battle of ducks too with Bo Nix there. And the Washington played up to they're above their standard. Treylon Burks has one touchdown pass with the Titans in his entire Tennessee career, and then he goes off at Washington and has an incredible catch. So they played a heck of a game in Washington, but Denver did what they did. They did what they did they did it against the Chiefs. They've done it against the Raiders. They win, and that's what we've seen from Denver. That's why they're up 4 games ahead of the Chiefs right now, and that's just where they stand. And Denver and New England share that one thing in common. They find a way to win, and I don't even think it's playing down to their opponent. I just really think Denver just is going to play close games, and will it get them into playoffs? That remains to be seen. That really does. But right now, they're the ones at 10-2, and I think every other team in the NFL would love to be 10-2 right now. So right now, they look like a formidable opponent. They just do. And if they have home field advantage in Denver, that's another advantage too when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah. They seem to be making the plays when they need to make them. And I think that's what you're talking about, Hense, as far as, in the comparisons to the Chiefs. The difference is obviously a quarterback. They've got a second-year guy, and, Patrick is made man and, was doing his thing when he needed to, even though it looked kind of wonky for most of the game. I think Harold brings up a good point, is that a lot of parallels between them and the Patriots, kind of speaking of made men, kind of made guys at coaches. Now, Vrabel hasn't won a championship as a coach, but he's got a few as a player. But you got the second-year quarterbacks. Denver's got a little better defense. I think the Patriots are a little better on offense. But as far as Denver goes, if Benito doesn't knock that ball down, it looked like McNichols. They ran the perfect play. Hence's guy, Cliff Kingsbury, I thought called a masterful game. And Mariota made the plays when he had to. He just one or two where you just kind of shake your head. The one interception where he just kind of threw it into a gaggle of people. I'm not sure what he saw. And then another one where he kind of threw it into coverage, but the guy dropped it. But as far as the Broncos are concerned, they can certainly be had. They're winning games, so we'll see what happens in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I kind of give the edge to the Patriots, and I don't know why, because I think, Harold, you make a great point. They're kind of winning the same kind of games. They're not really playing down to their opponent or up to their opponent. They're just making the plays in the fourth quarter that determine games. It's just like the Chiefs did a year ago. So for me, I think New England would be a tougher win than I would going at Denver if I just look at it from a pure Chiefs perspective. But listen, Sean Payton deserves a lot of credit. That's a last 10 plus years. They really haven't done anything, won anything. I'm not sure he's sold 100% on his quarterback. but he's got a great defense, and we'll see what this kid can do in the postseason when it's really one and done. So far, he's been Houdini, and he's done the magic trick in every game, and that's what you look for from a starting quarterback who you want to gain confidence with. So will it continue? Yeah, it's quite possible. It looks like they're probably going to be the 2 seed. I think the Colts are going to fall. I don't think the Colts are going to win another game. That's just me. I think the Chargers might only win 1, maybe 2. They're both in trouble, as Harold pointed out too. So, but the Broncos, man, they're legit. So until they get beaten, they're legit.
Like Andy Reid said earlier in the press conference that they need to win now. They got to win every game. And Patrick Mahomes said it after after the Dallas Cowboys game on Thanksgiving. They need to win out. Now the Chiefs are in this scenario now. You know what I mean? What's the scenario for real? What teams actually have to lose for the Chiefs to actually get in? Because I kind of lost track. I'm looking like, okay, watching yesterday, I'm like, man, they did this to themselves. You know what I mean? What actually had to be done? Luke, can you answer that question for me?
Well, they have to. No doubt, you got to beat Houston. I mean, next week. I mean, there's no question about that. You got to win that game. You got a bunch of teams ahead of them with only 4 losses. So a couple of those teams may have to lose at least 2, some maybe even 3 in some case. If it was like Buffalo, a team that they don't have the tiebreaker against, where it looks like the Colts. And again, it's probably more so because of injury. If Danny Dimes can't move, that's like 50% of his game. Their offense is completely different if he can't move, right? So I think that if they had their druthers, they would like to see Jacksonville win that division, and then the Chiefs get a wild card over the Colts, over Houston, because they will have beaten them. And, we'll see what happens with the rest. But I think that's I think Harold was talking about it earlier in terms of those teams. The Chargers as well. They've got a tough road to go as well. And the Chiefs play them again. So if they win out, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's 100% analytically there, but I would almost stake my life on it. If they win 11 games, they're getting in.
Yeah.
So if they lose against the Texans, we might as well be talking about Jeremiah Love, right? Try to go get him. I'm just saying, like, that we might as well be talking. If they lose on Sunday, it's going to be a hard chance to get them to get them into the playoffs. So let's at least into the cover today. Thanks for Mango. What is next? What's up next for the Chiefs, man?
The tiebreakers are not kind.
Yeah, the tiebreakers
are
not
kind right now. And a lot of people seen on Sunday, some like after the penalties and everything. Why should the Chiefs bench a starter on Sunday? If the penalties continue, the everything's continue, nobody's playing on the same level. Should they bench like a starter on Sunday for like one of these rookies that's out there? Give them a chance to see what they actually.
Who are they going to bench?
Like a guy that's getting out.
Who are they going to bench?
That's the one.
Which one?
That's the real question.
Let's see. They could bench Karlaftis. He's had 1 tackle in 2 games.
Okay.
No
okay.
pressure.
Who's his backup?
That's the problem.
Yeah, there you go. that's
the problem.
Yeah,
we're looking for.
We're
looking to make a statement with a player to show, like they do in college. You make a bonehead play in college. And
okay, so then I guess I'll answer a question with a question. Do you believe that accountability from these guys is a problem, or do you believe that anyone's out there not playing hard?
Well, I don't believe nobody's out there playing hard, but like. The McDuffie, like you see McDuffie get beat Sunday, right? That's my eyes watching. I used to play this game, like I know growing up, like playing ball back in the day. If you out there getting torched, you know what I mean, and he was getting manhandling, penalties. This sometimes you got to sit a player down, like, hey, this is nothing against you, but we still trying to win this game right now, so we're gonna have to. You could have threw Nall Williams in there, right? Threw Nall Williams in there, let him get a little more snaps going. To actually see what you have in him as well. So if this stuff continues on Sunday, hey, you're gonna have to say, hey, you here to play, but we also have other guys that's on the bench as well. As I know he said ain't nobody out there, but you got other guys out there.
If there were better players on the bench, they'd be playing. I don't think there's any question about that. I hear what you're saying, Hense, and that I hear the sentiment. Maybe if you've got like, a college team, 90 guys on the roster, or a high school team where, again, the difference between the players might not be that great, or maybe it's so great that it doesn't even matter. But no, you're not going to take your stars off the field unless you think for some reason they're not giving a full effort, or they're making a bunch of business decisions. You see it every game, or not every game, but just about every Sunday. You see some guys. I was watching that Steelers game against the Bills, and there was a couple defensive backs making business decisions where easily made a tackle, they move off to the side and try to punch the ball out instead, and it just doesn't look good. So Mike Tomlin will have to deal with that. But I just don't see that from the Chiefs, where there's a guy that you're going to take off the field and it's going to make a statement, right? I don't think they need a statement.
Well, let me interject. Some. So Harold, I'm going to make you the head coach.
Okay.
Offense, defense. You got one player that hasn't played up to his level. You've got maybe a young guy, if nothing more for the first series or the second series of a game, come in and replace you. If you need to send a message, who would that be?
On both sides?
On either side of the ball. I'll let you off the hook. I won't make you answer it twice, but
honestly, it really just depends on what they're doing in the secondary. If it's nickel, or if they're playing, they're trying to play base, what have you. I mean, they've mixed and matched so much. It's not one particular guy per se. I mean, I think if in a good world, if they had to replace somebody, it'd be whatever interior defensive lineman's next to Chris Jones. Because they don't have that right now because Omar Norman Lott's out. And that impacted everything defensively. It really did. So if I were to replace anybody with him, that'd be great. So maybe I'd give it a fresh Achilles to Omar Norman Lott, and maybe that would help some things. Because I think he was really developing into his own. Offensively, I think it's just a matter of those guys are banged up. They're a lot more injured at this point in the season than they should be. They're not 100%. And I think we all know about the running issue. God bless Kareem Hunt. He's getting after it. He's trying. But the fact that, I know he's coming back from a serious injury, but the fact that Pacheco was not able to get a little more involved in the game, that concerned me a little bit. And then when you piece him behind an offensive line that at this point could be, it could be Jalen Moore and Wanya Morris. Yeah, that's what it could be, and possibly will be on Sunday night. And then you pair that with Trey Smith, who's not a 100%. Even if he returns, he's not 100%. So Mike Caliendo has to be ready, and that just hurts the feet from Patrick Mahomes. It hurts him settling. So it's not necessarily a person I'd replace so much as it's just the offensive side of the ball. They've got to find some health. And the defensive side, whatever they stick with, they just don't have it in the interior depth there. They just don't have it. I think people are underrating how much Omar Norman Lott was a huge plan for this team defensively, and giving Chris Jones a little bit of a breather too, because he's up there and plays. He's like 80% of the plays, 90% of the plays. You can tell he's getting tired toward the end, and that's no fault of his own. He's giving it everything he can. It's just they just have to do it. And that just goes to, your depth. I mean, they had depth. Steve Spagnuolo likes to play 10, 11 guys sometimes on that defensive, or 9, 10 guys on that defensive line. He likes to rotate them. He has not been able to do that rotation because some guys just have not been able to produce. You can discuss George Karlaftis' pressures. You can discuss everybody else on the line trying to do their thing. But the fact of the matter is, when they have one total sack in the month of November, I think it's a half from Gelati and half from Karlaftis. That's just not good enough. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just
do that fall on coaching? Do that fall on coaching? Now, do that fall on the GM, right? You said it wasn't enough depth out there who they going to replace. You know what I mean? Did that fall on?
And they addressed it. I mean, they got Ashton Gelati. They got Omar Norman Lott. And now they have Ashton Gelati, who's still developing. And you can tell he's still developing. And he's just not he's not at that elite level yet that they would want to see for the other edge rusher. That's why you see Mike Dan is still in there. And you can't play with stopgap guys. You can't play with guys that are like, okay, they still have this position until somebody else develops and becomes that guy that we want them to be. They've got stopgap guys in there right now. And that's just how it works right now. That's how it's working with them. And other teams are very aware of this too. They know. They can see it. Obviously, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but you getting coaches after the halftime speak. They come out. They ask the coaches on the sideline on TV. I know you don't get to see it because you be at the games, but sometimes they ask the coaches like, "Oh, what y'all think y'all should do better?" Then you had the Broncos head coach name slipped out of my mind. He said the Chiefs are a first half team. And last week the Cowboys coach came out and said, "We got this. We got this in the bag. We got what we got going on." That's got to fall on if everybody see what you're doing on the field and know what you're going to do next and knowing that you don't have the backup. I think that falls on the GM.
I think the Cowboys were just like, hey, we had a confident game plan coming into this with the slant route. It's like, let's have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. We like those matchups. We're going to do it. And you don't have enough time to prepare enough for the nuances of maybe getting a little edge here or there from Sunday through Thursday. You do not have the time for the nuances. So we're just going to hit you with a good old-fashioned slant route, and you can't stop it. Or the referee's going to call a flag.
It was not a complex offense.
No,
that has.
It was not a
complex.
complex. Hold on, let me finish this. It was not a complex game plan.
Lack of pass rush too.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and you look at what they were doing, and this is basic. This is elementary, and you're right. They didn't have enough time to prepare, and I think they just kept counting on these individual corners to go make a play, and with the officiating the way it was. That didn't help either. That everything close was, five pass interference penalties on the Chiefs, including one on offense, which was not the correct call. But there's not a whole lot, Harold, that the guys they can do unless they just say, okay, we're just going to send the house on every snap and take our chances. And it may get to that point. Mm-hmm. It may get to that point Sunday night where they're just going to have to go all in after the quarterback and take their chances.
Well, it turns into Bob Sutton's defense, and nobody wants that.
Well, nothing's worse than Bob Sutton's defense.
But I think if you've got superior athletes on the outside, now you're not going to match up against many teams that are going to have the likes of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the same team. So that's part of it. So how are you going to help the coverage? Well, with pass rush. Well, they don't get a pass rush. So that's an awfully difficult place. And I don't know what coordinator is going to be able to overcome, just that mismatch on the outside. I mean, it's just, there's only so many different things you can do, especially if you're not getting a pass rush. The only thing on defense that I would say they could potentially change, and just to answer your question, Nick, as one player, I would say, again, maybe, and we talked about it, I think, last week, and hence you brought it up, I believe, is to just move Trent inside and Noel Williams move to the outside. Mm-hmm. And put your best five. I mean, they talk about the best five offensive linemen. They talk, put your best five defensive backs on the field, or four, whatever, however many you're putting on the field. Put your best ones out there, and let's see how they do, because Shamari has certain strengths, and covering man to man is not one of them. Yeah. So, and I'm not saying to take him off the field, but putting him in that position sometimes can be tough. So they don't really, I don't think Spags has all the pieces that he wants or needs. We talked about how important the loss of Justin Reed was, how important Tershawn Wharton was. I mean, there's certain players, Joe Tooney on the offensive side. So there's a lot of different things that have kind of not gone the way they expected or thought would develop. And then the injuries Harold mentioned is another one, and just not nearly enough depth, and guys haven't, developed quick enough, if you would, or the younger guys haven't stepped up. So here we are. So got to win. Bottom line, I don't think benching a starter again is going to really help anyone.
Said get Connor out of here. They said get 27 out of here.
No, you got to play him in the right position.
Some people said it on the internet. They said Connor is out here looking like Darren Sorensen.
Yeah.
They said look like Darren Sorensen. That's what they said.
Hey, Dan Sorensen scored points.
Yeah, he did.
Just scored points.
That's Dirty Dan, man. Don't take his name in vain.
Yeah.
I know that's what people were saying on the internet. So I was like, dang, Dan Sorensen. But again, other than that, I know the Chiefs are going into the draft next year, and they only have 5 to 6.
They only got 5 picks at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one particular guy.
Oh man, you're doing this already?
He answered this question. He asks this question all the time. Why the Chiefs should trade McDuffie makes sense. They said trade McDuffie.
They are
why
trading McDuffie? Yes, I think so. Anyway,
but go ahead, Nick. Why?
I just don't think they're going to pay him $110 million. I mean, Harold, correct me if I'm wrong. They're going to. They've already made a questionable decision in re-signing Karlaftis to that big deal. They got Chris Jones on the book for big dollars. They're well under the salary cap for next year. They're going to have to address Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes. And I just think with 5 draft picks, if they can pick up 3 draft picks for McDuffie and save that $16.1 million off the salary cap. Again, if they're going to misuse him and put him on the outside against guys who are 6'+", 6'2", 6'3", it's going to be a mismatch. He's at his best when he's inside, but that's what Noah Williams was there for. But I just don't think that keeping McDuffie makes a whole lot of sense to pay him the kind of money he wants. I mean, they didn't keep L'Jarius Sneed, and yeah, he had a knee issue, and there were some other factors, but they offered him a pretty sizable contract, and he turned it down. And McDuffie's agent, he's the same agent as Karlaftis, has already indicated to the Chiefs, he wants over $100 million. He wants Sauce Gardner money, and I just don't think you pay it, Harold. I don't know. I just think that's a lot of iron, as my
Yeah, Nick, the only thing that's really saving the Chiefs right now with this decision is their number 2 and number 4 top paid players at the moment may not be there next year. Jawan Taylor, Travis Kelce may not be there next year. We don't know. I mean, Travis is playing like somebody who could definitely be serviceable coming back. And, we're starting to learn Jawan Taylor. Honestly, he's actually played fairly well. Got out to a rough start with the penalties, but he's played fairly well.
Agreed.
And for anybody who's saying L'Jarius Sneed, I would like to point out what he's done in Tennessee, and that should tell you everything you need to know about.
That's why they didn't sign him.
He's barely played, 1, and 2, it's just been a nightmare down there for him. And that, how Tennessee's performed, but aside, it's just been bad for him. Period. And I think they knew something about that. Yeah, but just you can point out a game. It hasn't been great. He's gone through injuries. It's been the knee. You wish him well, but it's just not gone for him well down there, except for the guaranteed money. But Jawan Taylor is one to look out for. Obviously, Travis Kelce, we all know about that one and the decision he has to make. They know they need more draft picks. I think Travis is aware of that. Travis would not mind coming back and just taking like a, kind of one of those like Brady deals where it's like, here, just give me a straight 7-8 million, something like that. Help the team. I want this team to win. You do what you need to do. Get the money, because Travis Kelce, I don't know if you noticed, he's good on money. I think he's okay.
He's worth a lot of cash.
Yeah. He's marrying into a little wealth too, even with a prenup.
Yeah, so I think he's okay. Like he loves the game. Nick, he want to come back. He'll have a seat.
A lot of money himself.
I think he's going to come back. I really do. I mean,
But Jawan will be interesting. Because they have Jalen Moore for the insurance.
And they got Asa Poll, who we think
that's
I think
big money.
He's got some chops.
I would say as far as Trent is concerned, I think it's the same thing as Sauce. I don't think the Jets ever intended on trading him, but somebody throws 2 first-round picks in your lap. Well, now you got to think about it.
Yeah,
2 firsts, and then there was a player involved. Oh, by the way, A.D. Mitchell went off yesterday, but whatever.
I knew you was going to bring that up, man.
But and again, it's the Jets against the Falcons. I just making a joke, of course. A.D. Mitchell, just look out. So, but no, I think if somebody came at you with 2 first-round picks, you definitely have to consider it because, you can certainly rebuild because right now it's O-line, D-line. You can go after the sexy running back, and I agree with you, Hense. That would be a game breaker. To me, That's Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe a little bit slower, not much slower, but that dude is just a burst. Wherever he gets the ball, it's a burst. Very quickly, the jump cut, he has everything that you need to be successful in the NFL and be really good. But again, there's other good running backs. But if you can get a legitimate edge rusher that is going to command double teams, or if you could get, a right tackle that is going to be cost controlled for 4 years, potentially 5 or 6, that's a good thing. So yeah, if you get that Godfather deal, you can't refuse, then maybe you do make the deal. But other than that, unless they bring you that, I'm not trading them.
Yeah, what stinks about this is we're having this conversation during the regular season, and the Chiefs are 6-6.
Well, no, but it's important though, because
you're the one that brings it up a lot, Nick. So
yeah, but it's important though to mention the changes on offensive line because of what they're about to undertake on Sunday night.
Right.
Houston's defensive front is nasty. And what are those guys? They're top choice draft picks. Will Anderson, top choice draft pick. I mean, they got 8 sacks against Buffalo. They found a way to get to Josh Allen in a way that the Chiefs defense did not. So they found a way against Daniel Jones, even though he was not clearly 100%, but they found a way against him. So they are a nasty defense. They have, I think they're number 4 in sacks team-wise. They're number 1 in yards given up. They're number 4 in turnovers. They got 21 turnovers. That's a good defense, and that is a defense that will give the Chiefs.
Stingley was a top problems. 5 pick.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you suck. You get great players.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm saying. Like,
and they have a defensive coach. They have a defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, that helps too.
So if McDuffie, I think he's gonna be. I don't want to get traded, but Nick makes sense. He says it all the time. And I'm like, well, Brett Veach ain't shown that he's gonna pay a corner. Right? He haven't shown yet that he's gonna go out there and pay a corner a top dollar. He traded away Snead. Ward is over there. Was with the 49ers. Now he was with the Colts. He traded away. He let him walk as well in free agency, and they only worked with 5 picks.
I think the difference is they made Trent a first-round pick.
Right.
Homegrown, the whole thing. Now, I know they drafted L'Jarius, but that was a little bit of a surprise. They got him in like the 4th round, played a little safety, played a little corner. I think he went back and forth at where did he go? Louisiana Tech. One of those southern schools.
Louisiana Tech.
One of those Sun Belt schools. I don't even know anymore if they're in the Sun Belt or if that even exists.
They're Conference US. Are they Sun Belt now?
Conference USA, I think they are
Conference
now,
USA,
yeah. But no, I guess the point is that it's they took care of George, but again, they didn't have to pay George as an elite top of the market end. So they paid him for what he is. Now, I think they're probably expecting more sacks than he's getting this year, but it's not like they broke the bank. And there's edge rushers, obviously, making $30 and $40 million a year. I mean, they're at the top of the top, so he was never going to reach that. But as far as Trent is concerned, yeah, I mean, obviously he's not going to grow any taller. He's always been this size. They made him a first-round pick. He was all pro. He's made Pro Bowls. I mean, he's played well for you. Just that, again, he does have some issues with, again, the 50-50 balls with guys that are just elite, like A.J. Brown, like George Pickens. I mean, and I would imagine any corner that size is going to have those issues. Even guys that are bigger have issues with those guys.
You got Higgins coming in, too. You got Higgins coming in. You got number 12 coming in for the Houston Texans as well,
Nico
man.
Collins.
Nico
Collins. Hey, Higgins was a Golden Jacket kid, you know what I mean? If you don't know what the Golden Jacket kid is, it's the guys that
it's all about Iowa. It's all about Iowa
it's
State.
All about Iowa
Five
State,
guys from Iowa
State.
State.
We get it.
They've got Higgins. They've got Noel. Yeah.
So they got
Noel from here, by the way. Noel from the KC area too.
Yeah,
and also
Houston has 3 KC area guys on the team.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and the big and the guy that I wanted, everybody wanted Josh Simmons. I love Josh Simmons. He's on the Chiefs, but I'm on the Ursery, man.
Oh,
I was
stop
ready
it.
to draw for Ursery the whole game. I was breaking.
Stop
And
it.
They only had one. They only had one first round pick. Hence,
Stop
they
it.
had to make a choice.
He wanted to go. He wanted to go to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did.
he did.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, I talked to him. He did want to go to the Chiefs, but the Chiefs kind of had their mind set up on Josh Simmons. I can't blame them. I guess they again, typical Chiefs. They look for some value there, and they said, well, this guy's been injured. Other teams are passing up on him. He might fall to us. So they've done a lot of research. I mean, a lot of the guys they brought in from Ohio State were basically talking about Josh Simmons. And they're like, is he okay? What's he like? Blah, blah, blah. So,
Right.
And he's been great. Honestly, Josh has been great when he hasn't been hampered. He's been as good as you could expect for a rookie.
Not a telltale out of school. It's just us right now. There's probably no one really, paying attention. But what was up with that deal? How did that all go down?
As far as what to get him to Kansas City?
As far as Josh being away from the team for a month.
Oh,
some things will be never known.
yeah.
We have ideas.
Okay.
We have ideas, but
Yeah.
we respect his family privacy.
Yeah. That I think that's the
I
best
think
route.
just when it's like that, and again, that's 100% how they should handle it. But that's where just everybody goes crazy. Narratives, conspiracy theories, all sorts of different crap.
But I'll say this:
yeah.
he came back.
I was just seeing how you
playing
handle
better
yourself
than I
under
thought.
pressure.
Yeah. I mean, he came back and dealt with Nick Benito fairly well, so I think it was
Yeah.
okay.
I think
Yeah.
it's okay.
Oh no, I mean it's
All
not a talent thing. I don't think that there's no question about that.
But speaking of talent, does Mahomes' magic run out if they lose against the Texans on Sunday? A lot of people saying that Mahomes is to blame.
Well,
it's
if
one
the
guy,
magic
right?
runs out, he will lose to Houston.
But I'm saying, do you think? I don't think it's going around.
Let's make it a statement.
I think Mahomes is Mahomes, but go ahead and answer the question.
All right, I'll go
Well,
first.
to me, I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, if they can protect him, he'll be fine. If they can't, it's going to be a crap show, and he's going to be running for his life, and it's all going to be, backyard football. Now, you like to see that, a few times a game, but that's not a way to build a consistent offense. When he needs to be, that guy, he can do it, but they'd love to play on time. They'd love to, get the ball out of his hands quickly, especially to negate that pass rush, and potentially be able to run the ball a little bit to slow those guys down. Because I don't know that they had any sacks yesterday. Now, the Colts offensive line, I think, is a little bit better than the Chiefs, but I don't think they got to Dan. Now, they hit him a few times. I don't think they actually sacked him. So, yeah, I mean, if Patrick's protected, he's going to do Patrick things. And even when he's not, he will do it, but just not as often.
Yeah, I think. Listen, I've doubted this kid, and I doubted him during the Colts game. I thought there's no way he's going to come back. And then, I don't think the loss against the Cowboys really falls much on Mahomes. He did everything he could under the circumstance, especially with at one point having three backup offensive linemen in the game, including one named Morris. I think he missed a few throws, I'm sure. I'd probably like to have a couple of plays back. Maybe he needed to run out of the pocket, different times. But, I don't think the magic was going to run out with Patrick Mahomes until he gets into his late 30s. I think this is just one of those seasons. And we take for granted, a lot of Chiefs fans take for granted this run, and you just can't keep being great every single year. You have to have a dip. You have to have a lull. You have to kind of regroup and say, okay, we had a great 6-year run for Patrick. Now Patrick's got to do things a little bit differently, moving forward, because defenses are faster. They're all geared. They've had 6 seasons to figure out a way to stop him, and they're starting to figure out ways to stop him this year. And a lot of these games that they've lost has had to do with offensive line issues, with penalties, with the defense not being able to get off the field on third down, giving him more time, more options, and not being as aggressive on fourth down like they weren't against Dallas, except in the red zone. So I think Patrick Mahomes is still one of the best, if not still the best quarterback in the NFL. Until someone can match what he's done over the last 6 years, I don't have an option there. So I don't think it's going to run out at this point. I think regardless of what happens, even if he loses this game, he'll regroup and be better, next year. I mean, perfect case in point about Patrick is the last thing I'll say on the topic. After the Eagles lost in the Super Bowl, he was in the gym 3 days later. That tells you pretty much all you need to know about Patrick and his potential magic.
I don't think the magic run out. He got the kids at home. He got all the Lucky Charms you can eat, kids as well. So the magic would never run out. He got everything he needs. You know what I mean? But losing to the Texans, I think the magic will run out.
Delicious.
I think they'll run out on the Chiefs though. But a lot of people are, saying, it's Mahomes, it's this, it's that. I think this year has just been, all the way around, from the front office all the way down to, the special teams. I think it's always been around for the Kansas City Chiefs. But there's a lot of teams go, a lot of championship teams go to this. Unless you Floyd Mayweather, you just go undefeated, nobody's gonna touch you. But other than that, man, I think the magic won't run out with Mahomes. He showed it in the Cowboys game. And Nick, you brought up about the defense can't get on the field on third down. They number 27 in the lead right now on third downs. Can't get off the field. You know what I mean? Is that player problems, or does the coaching scheme, or what it is? You know what I mean? The penalties and this and that. But I think the Magic had just if they lose on Sunday, I think the Magic will run out on the whole team. They have to slightly rearrange.
I know. What do you think? You're out there all the time. What do you see from Patrick that we don't see?
I still see laser focus. I still see attention to detail. The problem is, we've all seen Andy Reid say over and over, we're just a tick off, and he reiterated it again on Monday. I mean, he had a heck of a line, and I got to read it to you just because I want to make sure I quote him accurately here. And his line was, "We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play." That's what Andy Reid said today. And he also added, "There's not a game that I don't think we're going to get after you." So, tickling, tonsiling, whatever you want. That's kind of what's going on there. They're very confident they can win 5 in a row.
Uh-huh.
They're very confident they can win 5 in a row, and they know it starts with Houston. But in terms of the magic, it's like, it's still there. I think we saw the Xavier Worthy pass where he was diving and threw. The spectacular playmaking ability, that is still there. That's not going away. Right. You just, you need good protection. You need receivers who make catches in clutch situations. You need some semblance of a run game, don't go under center, establish a little bit of a run game, have a good drive going, and then all of a sudden the second half it goes away. You're not too far down. So that's where their tick off is just it literally is the little things like, don't, when there's a ball loose, don't have a Dallas player come in from, 4 or 5 yards away when they're right next to them and recover the fumble. Like you just, again, it's little things that you don't even need to watch film for. Like you can see it on a TV broadcast. You can see it in a press box. Like, it's their little things there that just, we can point the statistics and how great their offense is, how great their EPA is, how great their DVOA, all these fancy pants stats that people have that describe this team as not being a team that should not be 6-6. Well, you are, and that's got nothing to do with Mahomes' magic. That's got nothing to do with anything because those things still show up time to time in each game. It's not like Mahomes' magic, so say, is going to disappear when if they lose to Houston. It's not going to disappear. It's still there. It's just more a matter of like, hey, this team is where it is right now. And do they get breaks to go their way? And sometimes breaks do require a little magic, but that's not just on Mahomes' magic. You got to call that Chiefs magic because it was there. It's been there. Got to find it. And you got to find it fast because it's snowing outside here in Kansas City. So we're in December. You got to find, even if it's just sprinkling, a dusting, you got to have some of it because it's just not going their way so far. And no one's going to look forward to hearing Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth say, like, well, here's the deal, like over and over and over again, because they're not making the right calls. So it's just a matter of you got to find it. And I don't know where it comes from. It's got to be some certain thing that comes up that night, but you got to find it because else, they're going to be staring at.
Yeah.
The Houston team's beatable. They are beatable. Every team they played is beatable.
All of them. Even in the postseason, every one of those teams will be beatable.
The Magic going to come from East of Post. He gets a chance to
Harold, I got a question for you because Coach Reed kind of sticks to his guns and one tick off. We just got to, fix little things, and it's every single week. Do you sense any frustration either within yourself or anybody else in the press room from asking the questions and hearing the same answer back?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, it's frustrating because, it's frustrating because it's the right answer, but it's the same answer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because, they are tick off. I think I went through this on our Sunday morning show where I basically just said, like, you could pick out 3, 4, 5 plays, and this is a completely different season. So in each individual game, like there's 1, 2 plays here, 1, 2 plays here. Some games like the Dallas game, I don't know if you're like per se stopping the Cowboys, but hey, if you recovered that fumble, you could have scored a touchdown. You might have won that game. Who knows? So, you catch, if the two guys don't run into each other when they had a surefire interception, who knows what happens? Like there's certain things like that are happening to them that just for one way or another is just not falling in their direction. So definitely 100% frustration with the answer you're getting from everybody. But there's also just, like, hey, sometimes guys, one time or two, you'd wish some player just got angry for him. And maybe Andy Reid's the spokesperson for that. He's never been like that. He doesn't operate a locker room like that. Mm-hmm. The leadership there doesn't operate a locker room like that. They don't get angry about stuff. They try to keep positive about things. But you've also got some guys in a situation that they have not handled either. Because when you've gone through winning the last 7-8 years like the way they are and things being relatively under control, you've got some guys who are leaders who don't necessarily know how to deal with this situation with the personnel they have because every team's different.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it requires somebody getting really mad about something or really upset, or maybe they're internally, not when they're in front of us, they're angry about this, which I'm sure they probably are very frustrated about it. And they don't want that frustration to seep on the field where they get more frustrated, and then they play like a team is frustrated, and next thing you know, they're getting run out of the room. So that's really what it comes down to. It's the same answer.
We see the comments from fans, and of course, they're frustrated because nothing seems to change. But if you're a coach and you believe in your scheme and you see it working, it's just maybe execution is off.
Yeah.
What's your motivation to change?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just change execution?
No. Change anything they're doing offensively because it appears that a lot of the things that they're doing or the concepts that they're running are exactly what they've been doing, throughout this run.
Yeah, well, it's worked. Yeah, it's worked.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why they can't change midseason.
So in speaking to people that are constantly saying, well, we got to change this, got to change that, fire that guy, whatever. Well, it works if you do it right.
But it can't work forever, Harold. At some point.
No, it can't. I agree. Yeah, it can't work forever. There has to be some unpredictability to it.
Yeah, sure. Even in the process currently right now, when you look at the Chiefs, you kind of know what they're going to do. You could tell that the Cowboys knew some of the things the Chiefs were going to do.
But the Cowboys weren't the only team that knew. Everybody.
Just from last game, but they're not changing enough up. You can tell when Juju's on the field. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's a run play or a screen pass to a wide receiver, and you just can't. And so that's a tell. You can't keep putting tells on the field. They're not, and they don't have. I'll give them the short week and not having enough time to prepare, but you can't do that. When you got Brashard Smith in the game, you pretty much know what's going to happen.
Screen,
and you just And that's their fault. That's their inability to
even with that, he should be on the field more, damn it.
Well, no, I know he should be on the field more. We all agree Brashard Smith. I'd like to see Damian Pierce and Brashard Smith on the field at the same time. I think that'd be fun to watch.
Well, we might see him on we might see him
Sunday. I'm hoping. But yeah, that's the thing.
Against his former team, no less.
Yeah, you got to going forward. Andy Reid is smart enough. Matt Nagy's, you say what you want about Matt. I think he's a good coach. They're smart enough to know that, okay, we can't do this formation. We're going to have to try to do something differently, or we're going to have to tweak this play a little bit. That's what they have to do. They can talk about the ticks. Now they got to tweak. They got to not make a play so obvious. And that's what I think can help this offense gain confidence, because I think it needs confidence. They need to go up and down the field like they used to. They need to be able to score points. They need to be aggressive. They need to do all these things. So where the pressure isn't on the defense to say, okay, despite the fact that we can't sack me in the backfield, we got to get enough stops, to take the pressure off. But that's going to be on the offense. I mean, still to me, regardless of what happens, no matter how you look at it, based on the equal nature that each team gets snaps, if the Chiefs offense is functioning at a level it scores 30 points or more, no one's gonna beat them. There's not a team on the NFL horizon that they're going to face that's going to put up more than 30 points if Mahomes is humming. So get Mahomes humming, whatever it takes. Let the defense take care of itself. Deal with the shortcomings in the offseason. But Andy Reid has to start tweaking some things. And maybe his comments today are like, you know what, we're just going to go all in and see what happens. They've had their back.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And we'll see what happens. If that happens, Chiefs fans are going to be very excited.
I have to say this, man. I agree with Lou said a show back ago. He was like, "Hey, a good offense, helps the defense win." Something like that. Some of that scenarios, Lou said it. The offense is getting off the field so soon. It's too many 3-and-outs after the halftime. It's too many of those. 3-and-out. Punt the ball. The defense is out there too long. Out there, on the field too long. And now you have these, third downs they can't get out of, and then everything goes to hell after that. And the offensive, plays are too predictable, like you said. You see Brashard Smith out there. He actually should be running the ball because we've seen what he did in college. He was one of the best, first time playing, almost put up almost 2,000 some yards he had back in college. Mm-hmm. But, he's out there, it's a screen, Roberts is screaming. It was Juju was out there. It's coming more, it's kind of noticeable what you're doing out there, and the offense is not playing in the hand of the defense, and that's what we've seen all year. That's why they shown that they can win when they all on the same level with each other, and they can lose when they off a little bit with each other as well. So that's why Mahomes said that we can beat and we can win these games as well. So
go do it.
What you have to say? Did I say that right? Did you? What was the word you said?
Yeah, I mean, a couple different versions of it. I mean, like I said, the best way to play good defense is not to play a lot of defense. So you have to sustain drives. You have to control the clock again, because the team is kind of morphed at a certain point from an offensive team to a defensive team. Well, now it might have caught them a little off guard where they're actually in season having to morph back to an offensive team because the defense can't get off the field. Now, they've had their moments. I mean, they're certainly made plays, but, in situations where, again, you got to have it type moments, it's not happening enough, right? Mm-hmm. Especially, again, when you're talking about these one-score games. They used up a lot of and again, you can say their individual occurrences, that every game is different, yada, yada, yada. But if you're playing all these one-score games and you win 15 or 17 in a row, you're damn sure you're going to lose a bunch now, because it's just regression to the mean. You're not going to be able to win every single time because the margin for error is so small. And now you throw into it all these injuries on the offensive line, inconsistent play, and whatever you want to call it. So it's just it's a little kind of disturbing because you're just so used to it in all these one-score games. Well, right. Patrick's going to make a play, or one of the receivers is going to make a play. Somebody's going to make a play on defense. Somebody's going to make a play, get a turnover, and we're out of here. Leo's going to block a field goal, and we're out of here.
But it's not happening. Looking at the playoffs, you know what I mean? I know the Chiefs ain't in yet. When it's all said and done, do you think they can be a wild card team, or do you think them not? Even though if they win out, the other teams still need to win, and by the scenarios, do you still see them as a wild card team, or them not making it at all?
Yeah, I think 11-6 gets you in. Yeah. I mean, depending upon if you get a tiebreaker, like, if you beat Houston and it comes between them two for a wild card spot, and or if, like, let's say Indianapolis does not win the AFC South, comes between those two in a wild card spot, and then he drops a bit, then yeah, I mean they could find a way in at 10-7 maybe, but 11-6 safer, and you never know. So I believe this team is worthy of a wild card. It's just a matter of, do they get the results they need? I mean, right now they need 2 losses. From the current teams in the wild card, they need 2 losses, and there's 5 games left. Yeah. And I bet other teams know, hey, we go 3-2, we can keep that team out. So I'm pretty sure they're well aware of that. So it's just a matter of, like, I'm looking at the Chargers schedule. I'm looking at Herbert. He's got to get surgery on his non-throwing hand. He's probably going to try to tough it out and play because he did against the Raiders. They've got a tough one against a reeling Eagles team next Monday. Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting to watch, because both of those teams are in positions where they need wins to get some momentum back, at least for Philadelphia's sake and for LA to try to stay in the race for the AFC West, because they're right behind the Broncos' tails. And then it's also, you got to look at the AFC North too, because if Baltimore wins the division, then that means Pittsburgh has the tiebreaker over Kansas City as of this moment. So that's something you got to look at. So maybe you want Baltimore to not win the division, so then you can leap over Baltimore when it comes to that tiebreaker. So there's a lot at play here, but it requires a lot of help. It requires a lot of help to be a wild card team. They're deserving of being a wild card team. I think they're good enough to be one of the top 7 teams in the AFC. I think they are one of the top 7 teams in the AFC. The problem is the results are the results. The W's are the L. The W's are the W's. The L's are the L's. They need some L's from other teams. Simple as that.
Yeah, well, the NFL wants the Chiefs in the postseason because it's money, and
they want Dallas in the postseason too, and they've been out a few years. So yeah, I mean, they made it. The Super Bowl still sells. It don't matter who's in it.
The Super Bowl still sells, but if the Chiefs and the Cowboys are in the playoffs, that's good business for the NFL. And I'm not saying
population out there that believes that the league will do everything they can to get the Chiefs.
Well, this is what I was going to say. I know a lot of people think that. I just think the officiating in the NFL stinks. I don't think it's very good. It's not. There's no unison in the plan. It's still in the eye of the individual who makes a play or makes a call. And I don't know how you ever streamline officiating in the NFL. And at some point, when the new CBA comes up, it's something they're going to have to address. But I think the Chiefs are a wild card team. I think I would not be shocked, if they are 10-7, they make it as the last seed. I had this vision this morning that the AFC Championship game is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals who are going to win out.
Wow! Don't count out the Bengals. I mean,
I wouldn't count out the Bengals. Hell no. Burrow looked really good, and
as bad as Pittsburgh looks broken.
The
Ravens don't look much better, so they're all going to be playing each other, beating each other up over the next few weeks. It's amazing how many division opponents haven't even played each other yet. There's a few divisions where like Tampa and Carolina play each other twice. In the next 5 weeks, right? And I think there's another division like that too.
Yeah, the Colts and the Jaguars,
right? And the Jags as well. So, but anyway, Harold, Glow 02K does not agree with you.
Oh,
cut it! I don't see it. You see that one, Hense?
I seen it. What's that?
Glow 02K. Cut it. I'm a Chiefs fan, and we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Veach and Andy Reid blunder season.
Glow
2K. Coming with the pitchforks and
Glow. It's not about
torches.
Deserving to be in the playoffs. Is if they make it or not. They take 7, so they're going to take the top 7, And if the Chiefs are in the top 7, that's it. That's how it
They're
works.
in. That's who they
It's
are.
not about deserving or not. I mean,
Yeah.
ever since we've seen the seventh,
So, I mean,
since we've seen the
it's a
17
big
added to
mountain
the playoffs.
climb.
Yeah, since we've seen the 17 added to the playoffs, they haven't fared well. But I don't think anybody would like to see the Chiefs as a 7th seed, considering the pedigree, right?
Yeah.
No.
Because, well, that's just it. If they get in, meaning they win 5 games in a row, that is going to be the scariest come-running team that we've seen in quite some time, right?
Yeah, they'll have their swagger back.
Nobody wants to see that outside of this fan group. But and as I always said, the 7th seed was made for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I may be wrong this year. I really might, for the first time, be wrong because they really, truly look broken. And it's because of the defense. They can't stop anybody. But no, as far as wild card team, and again, I'll invoke the Godfather, all of them, Coach Parcells. You are what your record says you are. So, yeah, if they go 11-6, absolutely. If they don't, then they won't be. So it's just that simple. It's a meritocracy. You're not going to just – it's not like the college football playoff. They're not going to go into a room and say, okay, who should be in and who shouldn't. It's
they could. They would if they could.
Right. But that ain't happening. So, yeah, they win them all, they're in.
Yeah, I think they like Earl said, you know, you can't, if your record says you are, you get in, and the Chiefs get in, you know, nobody wants to see. You know what I mean? If they get in there, and I want to see them on the road. I don't want them in here in the cold in Kansas City. You know, it's snow everywhere. You know, I want them to go on the road into a dome somewhere where we can
Buffalo.
Wait, what dome? What dome?
Yeah.
New
What
England?
dome are they going to play in?
Yeah, New England, Buffalo.
The Colts. I think the Colts will be fine.
Colts are not making.
Maybe they can go to
playoffs.
Jacksonville.
Really?
It's warm there. Yeah.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville's warm there.
But you also have to go to Jacksonville.
Jackson DeVille, man.
No, it's going to be an outdoor. It's going to be an outdoor 3-0 run, as Patrick said a couple years ago. I never had a playoff game on the road, and he got 2 in a row, and he's never won 3 in a row, not counting the Super Bowl thereafter. But maybe it's just listen. If the dream is alive for 4 straight Super Bowls, and they somehow go from 6-6 to playing in the Super Bowl, you can say all you want about what's happened so far. No one's going to care. No one's going to remember. And I don't think people are going to be upset, whatever the record is, if they get in the playoffs. Just get in. And we'll see what the team's pedigree is.
This conversation sounds a little bit like last year when everybody was thinking the Bengals might come running and they would get in because Burrow was just on a freaking tear down the stretch. Right. And it was like, don't let them get in. Whatever you do, don't let them get in. And the Chiefs had a hand in them not getting in. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that was pretty great.
And what if the Bengals do it to the Chiefs? Whatever it comes down to the Bengals not let the Chiefs
the
in.
Bengals only get they win that division. They're not. I don't think they're going to get a wild card with 8 losses. So So, but hey, they could get in, and then the Chiefs would maybe they'd have to go to Cincinnati and play.
That'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be?
It all comes down to this Sunday. So, Hurl, we know we ain't gonna see you on until next Monday. Who you got winning that game on this Sunday? Not just Chiefs, you know.
Well, I will say this. Last week I said 31-27 Chiefs, and I was, with the exception, I knew it was gonna be a high scoring game, or 35-31. I knew it was gonna be a high scoring game. It was. I think this one will be a little lower. This might be played in the 20s. But as much as I don't have a lot of confidence in the Chiefs offense, I don't have a lot of confidence in the Texans offense in Arrowhead. CJ Stroud looked like he was knocking off a lot of rust coming back. And I just don't know if I have to pick the Chiefs only because I've seen this play out before. I believe Houston's more talented. And if the Chiefs do lose this game, I will not be picking them to win a game the rest of the season.
All his chips are in the center line.
So this is it.
So because then I'll know.
Then
I'll just know that they just don't have it. And I mean they were teetering on that edge with Indianapolis. It teetered over in Dallas. If they don't have it after this mini bye, then they just don't have it. They don't have their fastball this year. So I think
that
champions prevail. I think champions prevail. I would not be shocked if this is an overtime game. I go 23-20 Chiefs. I just think they somehow show a little bit of the championship mentality. And for 1 week, the Chiefs are still quote unquote the Chiefs, and somehow and Houston leaves thinking to themselves, how the heck did we blow this one? So I still pick Chiefs.
All right, there it is.
There it is. We will have our picks.
You'll see our picks on Friday, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So,
I have a 50.000% assurance of my pick too. By the way,
50.1. Okay, that's still positive.
Bad.
Yeah.
Well, Hero said, "Hey, if they don't win, I'm picking them to lose the rest of the game, and let's go get Jeremiah Love. Hey, let's go get them for Northern."
We will
I think you need to start somewhere in the running back, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
It's always yes. So with that said, guys, we'll see you guys Wednesday with Chiefs Who and Lou. Who's in the lead with that before we close out? Or just still tied up?
I always bring it. It's not within hand's reach. We'll
do
Wednesday,
the update standings
as we lead into it. But I think whoever got one, there's three people now with
John Harrison,
wins.
Demetrio, and
there's three people with 2 wins and a couple with 1. So it's tight. It's tight. It's going to go down to the wire, man.
We'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's going to wrap for the Chiefs Blitz podcast. Remember, check out ChiefsBlitz.com. I want to thank Harold Coons for joining us. Lou Montagna, Hense Todd. I'm your host, Nick Athen. We are out. We are back on Wednesday, and we'll start diving into the madness for Sunday Night Football in Kansas City. The Chiefs and the Houston.
Jeremiah Love.